Okay, good morning. Today we're starting section 2.1, creating frequency distributions.
These pictures should match.
And for whatever reason, that set off my phone to talk to me. So we're going to start with these examples. Example number 1 gives you a data set here, constructing a frequency distribution from a data set. And I have taken this data set and I have transferred it over into a Google Sheet. And I will share this Google Sheet with you after I share the video with you. So we're going to start. I got all the data put in here. And the first thing I want to do is I want to sort this data in ascending order from lowest number to greatest number. It's important for us to be able to find our maximum value and our minimum value, and there's a couple ways we could do this. Before we sort it, I'll teach you some of the ways. You can do this. You could say equals minimum, and it pops up here, minimum value in a numeric data set, so we could highlight it. And it has a parenthesis there. Now what it wants us to do is it wants us to highlight the data set. I'm going to go ahead in here and highlight these numbers that I've input. Okay, close the parenthesis, hit enter. And it has found the minimum data value in that data set. Okay, so we can also go ahead, we're going to label that as the minimum. We can also find the maximum. And the easy way to do that is you just do the same thing. Equals tells the Google Sheet that you want it to calculate something, and we'll type in the word max, and it pops up for us. And again, parentheses, we want to highlight our data set again. And you'll see some letters and numbers pop up here. And what we're doing here is we're finding the maximum of the data values from the cell A2 to the cell A31. So we'll hit enter, and it will give us our maximum data value. So there we go. We have 59 as our minimum, 450 as our maximum. We could sort this data. So if you want to sort the data, you can just go ahead and highlight it. And up here into data, and you will see there's options here, sort sheet column A from A to Z, from Z to A, okay? So we're going to go ahead and sort that column A. And it put that data all in order for us as well. So you could find the minimum and maximum by sorting the data, or you could find the minimum and maximum. And I don't like what it did here. So we're going to click undo on that, because what it did was it sorted everything in the entire sheet, and we didn't want it to do that. We'll try that again. Data, we want to sort the range column A. So we only want to sort that column. We don't want to sort the entire sheet. So try it again. There we go. Now it's sorted just that column. So be mindful of that under data here. If you do these two, it's going to sort everything on the entire sheet. If you do these, it's only going to sort the column that you have highlighted. So keep that in mind. We'll go ahead back here to our sheet, see what it asks. The first thing we need to find when we're doing a frequency distribution is this thing called class width. Class width is how many data values fall into each individual group. So to do that, we have an equation. It was given to you back here somewhere. Let's see where it's at. They're not showing it to us anywhere here. I don't know where it got to. Wow, that's strange. They're actually not showing it. They probably told you in here. There is a guidelines box here. I hope you took notes on that this morning. The bottom line for this is first you calculate what's called the range of the data, which is the maximum number minus the minimum number, and then you divide it by how many classes you're told to do. For the purposes of this course, you will always be told how many classes. In our case, if we read the example, it says we want to do 7 classes. So I have the equation written in here, class width. Different programs call class width different things. This is Google Sheets. It's going to call it bin size or bucket size, depending on the version you're using. Our equation is maximum value minus minimum value divided by number of classes, which is 7. These are some old data that's in here. So if we're going to put ours in, ours is going to say 450 minus 59 divided by 7 classes. And the nice thing, and I don't know how much you guys experience with Google Sheets really is, but in order to do calculations in here, we only need to enter the equal sign. So I'm going to type equals, and I'll put a parenthesis, and I can type in 450 minus 59. I'll close my parentheses to tell it to do the subtraction. before it does anything else, and then divided by 7. And you can see it has already popped up here with a little window to tell us what the answer is. But if we hit enter, there we go. It has done that calculation for us. For the purposes of this class, really any statistics class, if you're doing a class width, whatever this number is, no matter what the decimal, you will always round it up to the next whole number. So here we have 55.857. Everyone would know that rounds up. However, if it was 55.01, we would still round it up to 56. If it comes out to a whole number, you will round it up to the next whole number. No matter what, round it up to the next whole number. So our class width in this case is going to be 56. So what we're going to do now is we want to split our data set up into groupings, or what we call classes. And we will always start with our minimum value. So right here, we're going to put our minimum value in, which was 59. And the simple trick to this is underneath that, I'm going to write equals. I'm going to tell it the number above it, 59, plus the class width, which was 56, and hit enter. And it gives me 115. What's going to happen now is I'm going to highlight that cell. I'm going to click on this little box in the corner. You can see it changes from a pointer to a crosshair when I get over it. And when I pull that down, it's going to recopy that equation over and over into the cells afterwards. And let's count here. We're at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 classes. And it has repeated that calculation over and over all the way down the list. I like to make these things the same. So we're going to go up here, all kinds of tools up here for formatting. We're going to center that column. These are the lower limits of each group or each class. Next column, we got to find the upper limit of each class. So the easy way to start this is to say, if this group ended at 150, or this group starts at 115, where did this group end? Well, if this one started at 115, then this one had to end at 114. And now we're going to repeat the same process we did before. We're going to type equals. We're going to type the cell up above it, 114. We're going to add our class width to 56 and hit enter. Notice this is 170. Where does the next one start? 171. So we know we did it correct. We're going to drag that down. Important thing to always check. We know our maximum data value is 450. This last number has to be 450 or greater so that this data value fits into one of these groups. So that's how we calculate our class width, and set up our classes for our frequency distribution. Another short video in a little while.